afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our last main stage presentation that we're so excited about. My name is Rachel Mitchell. I'm the Director of Business Development for TorontoJobs.ca and TorontoEntrepreneurs.ca. And I am joined by Kyley Paul, who I am very excited to learn your story. I was on your website and was reading a little bit about what you do. So I'm really excited to learn more. You're going to talk today about how to make the secrets to success work for you. So I love secrets. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about those. I'm going to do a brief intro because we're just a couple minutes late, and then I'm going to leave Kyley to it, and I'll be back towards the end for closing remarks. So I want to give you the intro you deserve, and then I will leave the screen and let you cover your amazing content. So Kyley's mission is to empower everyone around her by activating their awareness and giving effective tools to create and enjoy their ideal lives. As a single mom of 2 little boys who owns and is acting CEO of 3 companies, that's quite amazing. Her schedule and lifestyle became more demanding. In response, she developed efficient strategies to maximize her time, organization, and execution in life and business. Throughout the last 7 years, Kyley dedicated much of her time to developing her entrepreneurial acumen and overall clarity in achieving her purpose. So thanks so much for being here. I'm going to leave you to it. I don't want to take up any more time. I think your story is amazing and I want to hear about it later, but I'm going to let you do your presentation. So thanks again for being here.
Thank you so much, Rachel, and thank you to the event organizers. I'm very excited to be here. So anyone that's logged on, please feel free to use the chat throughout the event. If you have questions or something pops up, please use the chat function and we can communicate through there. But since we are, I think, a couple minutes behind, I will dive right into this. So how are we going to make the secrets of success work for you? So, I mean, I'm not going to give any more highlights on myself. I think Rachel did an incredible job for my introduction. I'll let you guys read this. And I believe this session is being recorded so you can have access to it later. But we're going to dive right in. So I'm going to give you the secrets right away. So what are the 3 secrets of success that you need to know that aren't exactly secrets because they are a theme? If you follow any influencers or a lot of successful people, this is a common thread and theme that you're going to see that they describe. So it's what do you want? Being very clear on your mission and your vision and what you want to achieve. Where are you now? Being real, accountable, and responsible for where you are in this moment and how you got yourself into this position, whatever that might be, and then creating the plan to bridge the gap. So I often refer to it as your GPS of life. Today, we're going to be talking about it in the frame of leadership and how to engage your company, engage your business, engage your staff so that you can succeed with using these 3 steps and catapult your business into the vision that you want. So the first part is the fun part, is what do you want? So do you have a detailed direction and vision for your business? What does that look like? Have you written that down? Do you have a business plan? Do you revisit your business plan every year, every couple years, every 6 months? What does that look like for you to ensure that you're staying on the path that leads to your ultimate vision? And do you believe in it? Your staff is going to follow you to the extent that you believe in your vision. So they can tell when you're having your corporate meetings, your regular team meetings, all of that, whether you believe in that vision or not. So make sure that you do some self-reflection when you're writing your business. If you're revamping your business model, for example, you're revamping your business plan to make sure that you personally, as the business leader, believe in everything that you're writing down so that you can exude that belief and your employees see that and they're going to believe in it with you. Have you explained your vision to your staff? So this is often something as leaders and visionaries, we sit kind of with an aerial view of everything. A good description is, are you on the dance floor? Or are you sitting in the balcony looking over and overseeing everything? And I often sit in the balcony and I like to see a zoomed out view and an aerial view of what's happening to be able to see the different pieces of the puzzle and put them together. But it's also important to bridge that gap in communication and to understand what the people on the dance floor are seeing, the people on the ground level, and to explain that to them. It's often hard as the leader and the visionary to express your vision the way that you see it to your employees, but it's very important that you take the time so that they do understand it and they have that from you as the leader. And is this vision aligned with the core purpose of the company? So you likely have core values, purpose. Maybe you read a lot of Jim Collins, you have a SMAC recipe, and different milestones and terminology that you use as your guiding force when you're creating your strategic plans. But is that all in line with your vision? So that we're not confusing our employees and our staff and our team members when you're explaining it to them. Make sure that all of that is aligned. Do you have a clear 10, 5, 3, and 1 year strategic plans? Have you looked at it from a backwards point of view? Have you created your vision and then worked backwards to see how are we going to achieve this? Does this all make sense in a timeline perspective? That way you can communicate it really, really well also to your employees. So we want to look at the milestones. Are the responsibilities clear? We often refer to it in my organization as swim lanes. So does everyone have a clear swim lane for their role responsibilities that they're following? Or are the swim lanes there are people swimming over lane dividers, and our departments being crossed? What is happening in your organization? So make sure that all staff understand their responsibilities and that all of their responsibilities and tasks lead to a target outcome for your vision. Make sure that they feel connected to the vision in that, and that all of the targets that you have in your vision are measurable and that you're tracking everything. These are things to really consider when you're creating that big vision plan for your organization. So now, where are you? Do you have a detailed analysis of where you are in relation to your targets? Do you know what all your numbers mean? This isn't necessarily only financial management numbers. This could be capacity numbers. This could be efficacy numbers. This could be project outcome numbers, client retention, marketing numbers. So what are you tracking in your business right now that you have access to, that you can do a detailed analysis of to understand where you are right now so that we can create the plan to bridge that gap to get to that ultimate vision? How is the communication flow in the company? When we talked about swim lanes for your organization and the roles in your organization, is there also a clear communication flow? Do all of your team members know where to go if they have a question? Do they know which manager to talk to? Are they going ultimately to the CEO of the company? Do they have a supervisor? How is that hierarchy and the communication flow happening in the organization? Are all your internal processes documented? In order to build a good foundation for you guys to be able to scale and ultimately reach your vision, we need to make sure that all of the pillars in your foundation are set. So make sure that all of your internal processes are documented. Take a relook at them. Can they be improved? Do you have a client success process after a project has been executed to continue communication with that client? Are the cash flow and finances running smoothly? Make sure you really do a deep dive on where you are at right now so that we can create the plan to make our milestones. Here we are. We're going to involve our team in the plan. So we want to have a half day at least every quarter dedicated for brainstorming with the team. Now, this can be key team members depending on how large your organization is. If you have managers, if you have an organization of say 100 team members, the top 20, which would include managers and senior executives. If you have a team of 10, involve all 10 in this discussion. Like I said, when we're looking at creating the targets and milestones, we want to make sure that we're doing it from a ground level where all of the roles are going to be involved in this. So your role as the leader in this conversation is to ask them questions. What are the issues that need attention? They may come up with ideas that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of, or they're coming across issues on a daily basis that you would never have insight into because you might not be the one executing the projects or dealing directly with all of the clients. What ideas do they have to reach the target? So we can frame the questions for them. In order to reach target A, what do we need to do? Who is taking that initiative? While you're sitting in the room in these brainstorming sessions, take notice of which team members are taking the initiative and giving you the most ideas. That could be indications for role development in the future. That could be an indication to you of who's a vital team member that you need to keep on board in order to meet your targets and continue going on this scaling journey. So encourage the creative problem solving and critical thinking. Ask the questions, listen. It can be hard sometimes as the leader and the decision maker in the organization to just sit back and listen to the ideas that your team members have. But I think it's really critical and important. And I was actually just in Susan's session, and she mentioned how leadership 1.0 is no longer relevant in today's job market. And I would agree. And this is a way to introduce leadership 2.0 perhaps into your organization, is to listen and get the feedback from your team members. What are we doing wrong as a company? What am I doing wrong as the leader? I ask this question to my team. What's working in the organization? What are we doing really well? How can I make your role easier? What do you need from me, your team, your manager, in order for us to meet the targets that we've set? What obstacles could we face when we're going after target A, B, C? And how do we mitigate that now? So looking ahead and getting their feedback on what potential obstacles and roadblocks and speed bumps that you could encounter, and then be proactive about it. How do you mitigate all of that now? All right. And are you using the secrets of success for yourself as the leader of the organization? So not only are we trying to infuse this into our organization for planning purposes and to meet our sales targets, but we want to create a holistic life for ourselves and encourage our employees to also do that. So this is an activity that I do with all of my employees, and it involves sitting down, giving them a template, and figuring out what they want as in their life as a whole. So we frame this with 3 domains. Health includes your physical, mental, and spiritual health. Wealth, financial, vocational, legacy. So in the wealth portion, vocational, how can we encourage role development so they create a holistic life? And then love is family, social, and fun. Fun is for yourself. What do you enjoy doing? What fills your soul? What makes you happy and keeps you motivated to keep going and allows you to rest and reflect so that you could give your best to your organization? So we want to make sure that not only are we planning for the organization, the success steps, but we're also doing it for ourselves and encouraging our employees to do that as well. Some tips for planning for yourself: have a dedicated planner or journal for these activities to write out what you want, what you see your vision as your holistic life. What does that look like for you? Write as many goals as you can. So a target for you to look forward to is 1,000 to 5,000 goals. I'm actually currently working on 5,000 goals, which some people might say sounds crazy. Some people might say they could do it easily. I encourage you to try it. It is a lot more challenging to think of 5,000 goals than you might think. You can get pretty granular and detailed about it, about all the aspects of your life that you see unfolding for yourself. Save lifestyle images. Vision and images is the most powerful tool to imprint into your subconscious to look forward to in your vision. Link your goals in each domain. So for example, if you have a family business, that links 2 domains together in your vision. How do you link multiple domains to make your vision for your life as holistic as possible? Now, it doesn't have to be every goal you have in your journal has all 3 domains included in it, but there are ways to link them together and to incorporate one into the other so that you create and infuse more meaning behind them. And whatever your driving forces are, you can encourage that in your goal setting. Use reminders in your space. So this is really fun. You can set pictures in your office space. You can use words. You can use numbers. So if you have an income or financial target, you can use that number in your personal space and in your office space on a little Post-it or something that means something to you. It could be a word. It could be peace, joy, love, fun, whatever that looks like, that reminds you of a category of goals that you've created for your vision for your life, or any specific really big goals that you're looking for. So those are my tips, and I've left some time for questions. Ran through this a little quicker than I thought I might. So if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat box and I would be happy to answer them. And also, if you'd like to go back to a slide that I was on previously to get a little bit more detail, or maybe write down a couple of the points, just let me know. Anybody have any questions? I'm going to take a sip of water here. All right. Well, I will say I put in some of these tips and tricks on my LinkedIn page often. I do business coaching for entrepreneurs that are looking to get a little bit less stress in their lives and create that holistic picture, but also a realistic way to execute on it. So not only do we want to make sure we have this grand vision for our businesses and for ourselves, but we also have to make sure that we can execute on it every day. So I'll give one time management tool, because I know Rachel asked, how do I do it all in my introduction there? So time blocking, if anyone knows about time blocking, is one of the biggest time management tools that I use. So I decide what I want to achieve in the week, or my fixed time expenditures during the week. So whether that's picking up the kids from school or taking them to school, or different activities, things like that, things I know I've committed to, I put those in the calendar first. And then I add in things that I want to achieve. So if it's a task to meet one of the targets and milestones that I have, then I put it in there. If it is a personal activity, or just going outside for a walk to clear my head, I put that in the calendar in order to schedule everything so that I make sure that I execute on it. And it actually increases productivity for when I am ready to do a weekend activity or something like that. So, but going back to the 3 steps to success for leadership purposes, does anyone have any questions? Just going to, I can go back in one of my slides. Maybe I'll leave this one up about what do you want, where are you now, and creating the plan as your top 3 takeaways for this session is to implement these 3 questions into both your business and your life. Thank you, Rachel. Is there any other questions while I'm here? I think we have a couple minutes before the panel begins. Is there anything else anyone wanted clarity on, or for me to go back to a certain slide? I am happy to answer anything. Rachel, I'm not sure if you had questions at the beginning that you wanted me to answer. There you are.
That was fantastic. I kind of resonate the whole single mom thing and starting a business, and how amazing is that? Like that's quite the accomplishment. So I just wanted to touch on that. And maybe you could touch a little bit on how you manage that at first, because that's a lot of things to deal with all at the same time, and to be such a success. Like, that's kind of inspirational. So just wanted you to touch on that a little bit.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. How did I manage it all at the beginning? Well, I reached out to my support network. So that's something that when you are a single mom, you can't really avoid reaching out to your network to help out, right? So my parents help out a lot with with my kids, and my staff obviously knew about my situation. So a few of them stepped up in terms of leadership to take over some of the organizational activities and the operational management on a day-to-day basis. And like I said, I just really plan out ahead of time. So everything that I do, I think of intentionally. I really walk my talk in terms of the vision planning aspect of it, and my planner acts as my right arm most of the time and is my most important possession, definitely. So I have everything scheduled. I am very transparent about my schedule also. So when you're consistent with time blocking and scheduling, but also letting people know when those time blocks are. So my staff knows I'm in the office on Tuesdays. I book calls for clients on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then other days I value and I take for my business development time and my personal development time, and can get other things done that need to be. So implementing a schedule that works for you. And like I said, I put in things that are non-negotiable first and that are set. So picking up the kids from school, taking them to school, that kind of thing, their activities, those things are set in first in my schedule. And then I put in the, sorry about that. I was timing myself.
That's great. I love that.
The other activities in order to meet the life that I want. So
that's great. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time. Maybe if you want to put your contact information in your chat, in the chat, that would be great.
Absolutely. I will do that right now.
No one can click on it in the presentation. So, but yeah, I just want to say thanks for your time. We really, really appreciate it. And we wish you the best in your business, because that's such an amazing accomplishment that you have accomplished. And we really thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rachel. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.